It's broken! It's broken!
Maybe the next game we can play at is Goat Simulator.
you guys hear me now? Seems like we had a problem at the beginning of the stream. Just let me know if you can hear me now. There we go. So apparently I wasn't muted, the settings were on. There we go. We are on board with Aphrodite. He just set the fastest lap of the session so far. Virus in P2. You would have missed my opening monologue, so apologies for that. But what I was saying, it's the first race of season 8. Everybody has their slate wiped clean. Everybody starts on 0 points. Everybody has the same opportunity to win the championship. Cheddar goes up into P1. Remember, it's crucial. We just have this one qualifying session. There is no Q2 or Q3. You've got to do it now in Q1. This will set your field. 20 drivers in the field. You really don't want to be towards the rear of that pack. You're going to give yourself a lot of work to do. A little bit earlier on I asked the comment section, but they obviously didn't hear me. Does anybody have any information for me on the weather? Are we expecting this session to get wet towards the end? Are we expecting rain in the race? Got some very overcast conditions up above. Actually, the drivers will know. I unfortunately up in the comms box do not have any weather information. In case you were wondering, spectator mode still looks the same since 2017, and the helicopter cam I was hoping for was not delivered. This is Windsor's. This is one of the two McLaren drivers, his teammate on an out lap, so both McLarens yet to set a lap. As you can see, traffic, those cars getting out of the way, but sometimes it's just enough little distraction and you're not going to get the ultimate out of that time. So Logic up at the front, Cheddar P2, Aphrodite P3, remains in the pits, Midas P4, Windsor's P5. What we see on Thursday night is guys come out, do a lap time, and because it's a full quali session, we have a very quiet second part of the session. That will not be the case today. Of course, 20 drivers in the field. The question is, if you can't start at the front, where do you want to start? Do you want to start in the middle, or do you want to start at the back? Because the middle could become interesting. There is one thing I'd like to report here on spectator mode, which is quite strange. I've never encountered it on any previous game before, but for some reason, every time a driver goes over the curbs, my controller goes insane. I'm pretty sure my controller is not supposed to be registering what the drivers are doing over the curbs. Ferrari and a McLaren having a bit of a practice race, going side by side. Divan still looking for his first lap, as is Spikes, as is Brands. Brands remains in the pits. Remember, in season 7, it's Ferrari was your championship winner. Big T was second. Logic was third. So those are the drivers that were at the top of the field last time round. And as you can see, two of the drivers I just mentioned, they're already in the top three. Logic P1, Big T, P3. Cheddar seems to have come up to speed on the game pretty quickly. He's in second place. Brand's on an outlap. Still looking for that first lap time. When you have a field this large, pressure can pile on very quickly. If you don't get that first run, you invalidate the first run. If you don't get the lap time you wanted, all of a sudden you look up at the time. It's only 8 minutes left. It's not the shortest racetrack in the world. It takes a while to get around here. Do an outlap, a quick lap, an in lap. Not going to have that much time if you're sitting in the pits right now. Don Rabico, he's right on board with the Mercedes driver, currently in P6. He's got a 126.9. I wonder if we're going to be seeing any identical lap times tonight as we did in qualifying on Saturday at Montreal. Obviously identical lap times for George Russell and Max Verstappen. The last time that happened for pole position, that was in Jerez 1997. With one difference, didn't involve two cars, it involved three. P1, P2 and P3 identical lap times. Back to Silverstone, Logic, Cheddar, Big T, Don Rabico, Afrodox, that's your top five. Then Midas, Season 7's champion, currently in P6, Wizards P7, got Loki in P8, Virus P9 and it's Free, currently making up the top 10. Brand still looking for that first lap, Divan still looking for that first lap. Mango does have a lap, but that's not a representative lap. It's a 135.9, so he'll be looking for an improvement. Stoffel also looking for an improvement in the 130s. Up at the front, Logic still at the front. He remains in the pits. Cheddar P2. Oh, he's just gone P1. It's a 126.1. Moves the goalpost, and Logic will have to react. He sits in the pits for now. Big T on the pit exit. Track about to get very busy again. In fact, the track's been busy throughout. It's that many cars. This is Midas. He's lining up a quick lap. That's right on board with the thick Salva. Obviously this team's Salva's remaining shares were bought over in January, so Audi already technically owns this team. In 2026, the branding will come and it will become a full manufacturer Audi team. Why I say full manufacturer? It's like Aston Martin that has a Mercedes engine. Everything will be built by Audi themselves. Just like with the Ferrari, the Mercedes and the Red Bull. Full manufacturers. The front, Cheddar, he's on his way back to the pits. There's just over 4.5 minutes remaining, so if he gets in and out quickly, he could still have another go at this. Welcome to OJ in the comment section asking about how he can join SAFRL. If there's anyone in the comment section who's able to help out with a link, tell him where to go. Maybe Panda. Let me know if anyone can help out. Just send him a link. Obviously SAFRL runs twice a week. We've got Tier 1 on a Monday night. That's what you're watching right now. And we've got Tier 2 on a Wednesday night. They run on the same calendar. These guys are really quick. So are the guys in tier 2. They're just hiding from these guys. This is Midas. Going into now one of the most famous parts of this race circuit. Of course, in the past, that was the main straight. That was changed several times. You saw Silverstone's original layout. It's very original layout. You'd have quite a lot. That did involve, I think it involved both runways of the airfield. I've seen many British tracks built around former army base airfields. Because there were a lot of those in Europe in the early 1900s, and that's where England decided to build their racetracks. Was that Mango just taking a shortcut? I think it was Mango taking a shortcut over the gravel. Not too worried about those tyres. Really, he's not going to be able to get any decent data out of those. Top 3 are Mango, Cheddar and Midas. Brands P4, Logic, he was in the lead not so long ago, and look at that, he's down at P5 now. So the lap time's really coming down now. Mango was the first driver into the 25s. I think I saw somebody talking about 25s in the Discord chat earlier on, and it was snuffed off as ridiculous. Well, it's not ridiculous. It's already happened. It's a 25.9, and if you want to take pole position, the only way you're going to do it is by getting into the 125s. Track's very busy. Wish we had more camera angles. Wish we had more monitors that we could simply switch through. I'm trying to give you all the action I can. Cheddar currently in P2, he's on an outlap. Logic in P5 on an outlap, as is Don Rabico, as is Afrodox, Pantry Star, It's Free, Thiago Maestro and Spikes. Busy racetrack. Then on quick laps we've got Wizards, we've got Mr. M, and we've got Andre as well as Stoffel. Just 4 drivers remain in the pits. 16 cars out on track in the closing stages. Just over a minute remaining in qualifying. This will set the field. There we go, just the cars in the pits retiring from the session. They've had enough. Got a Williams stationary. Mango on an outlap, but is he going to get over the line? He's got 50 seconds to do it. This is Cheddar, currently in P2. Cheddar just looking for that little bit extra, needs to find at least 2/10. But there are drivers behind him that are also looking for improvements. They might want to get a little bit more than 2/10. He intends on holding on to that lap time. Mango taking all the shortcuts he can, but I don't think he's going to make it. He's got 6 seconds remaining, 4 seconds remaining. And I think that's that. Mango checkered flag, so he's not going to be able to improve. Cheddar is on a quick lap. Logic is on a quick lap. Brands is on a quick lap. All of those drivers I just mentioned still within the top 5, still within the realm of possibility to take pole position away here from Mango. May have just been in the pits just a few moments too long. Cheddar goes over the line, doesn't improve. Where is Brands? Where is Logic? Ooh, we have a red racetrack. Does that mean he invalidated? I think it means he invalidated. This is Brands, currently in P4. And I don't think he's going to go higher than P4. Just putting it sideways, saving the car, no damage to the car. But it's not going to find any sort of improvement. Logic has got the checkered flag as well, so he's not going to be able to improve. Pantry Star coming into the pits. Don't know if we're going to see any further improvements. This is Virus in the RB. Much better name than AlphaTauri. Much better livery than AlphaTauri. But I'm still not calling it a V-carb. I'll only start calling them Visa Cash App RB when people start calling Mercedes by their full name. Petronas Ineos, AMG Mercedes, F1 team. If you're gonna say their name's ridiculous because you read it out in full, well then you should read all of their names out in full. Scuderia HP Ferrari. Welcome to Etienne in the comment section. Why are the drivers cutting corners on their in laps and out laps? Guess they're trying to take shortcuts. Racing for that checkered flag. There are your qualifying results. Mango took pole position. Cheddar will join him on the front row. They're followed by Midas and Brands on the second row. Then we have Logic, Big T, Don Rabico in P7. Then Afrodox, Wizards and Pantry Star making up the top 10. Knocking on the door of the top 10, but not quite. Tiago P11. Then we have Loki P12, Free 13, Virus 14. I'm running out of time. There's too many drivers. And I've officially run out of time. Sorry if I didn't mention your name. I should have got on that a little bit quicker. I was reading the comments. That is the second time somebody's told me that. Apparently I sound like Hugh Bladen. Well, that's why I don't say unbelievable on any of my streams. Thanks for that. It's quite a good commentator to be compared to. We've got the green lights. We're waiting for. Ooh, we've got a formation lap. I wasn't expecting that. We didn't have that all of last season, but we've got a formation lap. Disqualified from the session, Stoffel reversing off the start line. Well, you don't see that every day. So, already having a few DSQs. What that usually means when you get a DSQ on the formation lap, that's just usually two drivers that have made contact. Those drivers are not effectively disqualified from the race. They're just disqualified from the formation lap, which means they're put back in their grid slots. And while all of these cars drive around, they weave around, what they're doing is they're trying to get temperature into the tires, they're trying to get temperature into the brakes. And if you're sitting there on the main straight, stationary, well, you're just not going to have that tire temperature going into turn 1. It's going to be Mango versus Cheddar into turn 1. You can bet Midas is going to be all over that as well. Brands P4, Logic P5, Big T P6. Very, very, very fast order. Look at that. Rabico P7, Afrodox P8. Extremely quick drivers all the way down the field. I wouldn't like to be in this field because I'd be a lap behind by lap 10. I will simply remain just the commentator here in Tier 1. These guys aren't a little bit too quick for me. They're a lot too quick for me. Do not be alarmed, the DSQs you see on your screen, those are usually just the drivers who didn't get their parking right. Everybody should be back into their grid slots, and there we go, we will have 20 drivers. Strange camera angle, I haven't seen this one yet, but 5 red lights. And when they go off, we're going to be off. And it's Cheddar versus Mango into turn 1, and Cheddar's coming out of the corner ahead. It seems Ferrari's going to have the inside for the next. We'll go wheel to wheel briefly, but I think the Mercedes is going to come out on top for now. It's got a car going wide there. I think that was an Alpine. It is an Alpine trying to recover. Doesn't want to lose too much momentum. Cheddar leads the way from Mango. Big T in P3. Then we have Midas in the Texalva P4. Logic P5. Rabico's already made up a few positions. He's up into P6. Then we've got Aphrodite P7. Winzit's P8. Pantry Star and Mr. Rem making up the top 10. Further back in the field, Brands making up the field in P20. I think he might have damage on that car. Seems to be going around a little bit slowly. We have the two Williams in 18-19. That is Thiago and Stoffel. Virus and Andre trading places. Virus up into P16 now, and Andre's lost another position. So easy to do that on the opening laps. You lose a little bit of momentum. One car goes past, another goes past, because everybody's still so close together. Those predictions aren't very helpful to me. Both of them are one-stop strategies, so I think that is the strategy for today. Unless you have any damage, you don't want to go to the pits more than once. Obviously safety cars could become a thing. You have 20 drivers in the field. And just to bring up your tyre situation in the race, Cheddar leads the way. He's on a set of softs, so that might have explained his brilliant start, how he got past the Ferrari there into turn 1. Mango in P2, he's on a set of mediums. So interesting there, in the top 5, 2 drivers on mediums, 3 drivers on softs. Different strategies at hand, different ideas. And another thing to remember is with all 20 drivers in the field, that means everybody has their teammate. So you want to keep that in mind. If you're running a little too close to your teammate, double stacking will be a thing. So you need to be in communication with your teammate, be in understanding, know when he's going in. Again, strategies just coming up the second time in case we didn't see them the first time, and yes, they're both one-stop strategies. So not the best predictor. Cheddar leads the way, Mango P2, but now Big T starting to apply the pressure. We saw that Alpine just didn't have the best start to the race, but now he's all over the back of the Ferrari, and he needs to get on with it, because soon he's going to have the green car behind him all over his mirrors. Logic P5. It's only lap 3, but this field's still very close together. In fact, if DRS became active right now, we'd have a DRS train from P1 down to P18. It's a field not spreading out, everybody's staying close together for now. Cheddar out front, but not by far, just 0.4 of a second. Then it's Mango, then a further 0.3 of a second you get to Big T. So everybody's still very close together. It looks like we've just had a safety car restart. Everybody just riding along in single file. Logic in the top 5, and the top Red Bull driver today. Logic ahead of both Red Bulls and his teammate. Got quite a few viewers there now watching. Great to have everybody on the channel, great to have everybody watching. This is season 8 round 1, the season opener for SAFRL Tier 1. And what a field we have. So many quick drivers in this field. Mango, P2, chasing Cheddar, with now Midas up into P3, Logic up into P4, and Rabico into P5. It seems like that Alpine may have spent some time off circuit to just trying to get a view of that Alpine's front wing, see if everything's okay there. Seems like it's just a lockups all over the circuit. Cheddar out front, Mango still second, Midas still third. Those cars still very close together. Mango on a different strategy to those cars around him. Car in front of him, car behind him, they're on softs. He's on mediums, so he's going to be looking to go a little longer in this race than everybody else. And what that does mean is that in the second stint of the race, he's probably going to have the better compound. So if he's holding things together for now, he's going to have the advantage in the second stint. Things are looking good for Mango. Just a brief caution popping up on our screens. And there it is again. Hopefully it's just somebody driving over the grass and nothing too serious. We don't want to see safety cars. We don't want to see the race decided by safety cars. So many quick drivers, such a close field. We want the racing to sort out the order. Ooh, we've got a car there in the gravel. We've got our first retirement, I think. That's Wizards falling down the order. We've got a full course caution right around the circuit. This could possibly be the first safety car of the evening. We haven't got confirmation yet. There we go, virtual safety car. I wouldn't be surprised if it's upgraded to a full safety car, but let's wait and see what happens. Unfortunately, we've had our first retirement. That is Wizards in the McLaren. We're down to 19 runners. Of course, in such early stages of the race, a full course safety car is a little bit useless. We prefer it in the middle of the race, towards the end of the race, when you can really throw the dice and do something special. Oh, and that's also something that's been added to the game for some reason, the safety car warning flashes. Very long virtual safety car. I'll tell you who this is hurting the most, this is hurting Moller, because he's 55 seconds adrift from the next car. If it was a full safety car, he'd be able to catch up to the back of the queue. Now he just has to sit there patiently, driving within the delta, knowing there's nothing he can do really to catch up. Now the virtual safety car has come to an end. Cheddar will lead at the restart. Mango P2, this time he'll try to get the jump on the Mercedes. He's not going to have DRS just yet. There we go, Cheddar versus Mango versus Midas. Midas has dropped back a little bit from these two. Logic just behind him. There's so many lockups, I can't even tell you who it is that's doing the locking up. Just smoke all over the circuit. One thing I know about this game is that you're able to recharge that ERS a lot faster. So guys aren't going to have to be so restricted on the ERS management. Going to be able to be a little bit more aggressive on this game when it comes to the battery. It replenishes itself a lot quicker than it used to. Mango leads the way from Cheddar. Mango got ahead on those mediums. And now what's crucial, I said Mango had a very good chance here. That was when he was down in P2 and managing to stay with the soft runners. Now he's up ahead of the soft runners. He's going to go deeper into the race than these soft runners. And if he's able to grow a gap now on the slower compound, then this race should really come to him after that pit window. I was going to say the first pit window, but I suppose it's going to be the only pit window unless the race is not going according to plan. Fastest lap of the race goes to Mango. It's 1:28.8. I wouldn't even be able to do that in time trial probably. again, lots of smoke coming off that Alpine. Big T just locking up. And as I say, Big T, he gets a brilliant exit. Goes right past Logic, nothing Logic could do. And cars trading places throughout the circuit. Moller in a race of his own, hoping for a safety car that'll bring him back into this race. Stoffel P18. This is Afrodox. You know, he's a lot quicker than this. He's riding out of position, hoping for something special to happen in the race. Loki P16. Andre 15, Tiago Maestro. We know he's also a quick driver, driving out of position. 14, Virus. He's quicker than that. It's P13. Rand's 12. And it's Ferrari just on the edge of the points in P11. Remember, this is a brand new championship. This is season 8. Everybody on 0 points. Everybody with an equal opportunity. Slates wiped clean. Wizard's explaining his retirement. That's what happens when you try to floor it in the last corner with overtake on. Just getting a little greedy there on the overtake and using it in corners where it's not really appropriate. So Wizard becomes the first driver to retire. But glad to have you in the comment section, glad to have you watching the stream. In fact, I know one driver that after starting from pole, he led half the race, had an incident, went to the back of the field. Then there was a safety car miracle which handed him the race back, and he crashed on the final lap. Well, he was racing on a controller. He decided to throw the controller. And somehow it went straight through the window. So not only did he break his controller because he lived on the first story, he had to replace his window. Don't rage quit. Just join the comment section. It's a much better and much cheaper option. Mango leads the way, Cheddar P2, minus P3, those 3 cars remaining pretty stable. Big T in P4, just losing a bit of contact there with the top 3. He's leading a DRS train of his own, coming under pressure from Logic, and then Dan Rabico in P6. Then we've got the second Kicksalver P7, that's Pantry Star, having a bit of a race of his own. No one immediately in front, no one immediately behind. Then Divan P8, Spikes P9, and Ferrari, he was on the edge there. We said he was in P11, well now he's got himself up into the points. Saying he forgot to switch off the overtake. We're going into the final corner. Wasn't much you could do. Tell me, Wizards, how do you feel about the game? Do you like it? Is it an improvement? Is it not? Does it work for your driving? Or do you feel you still need to spend some more time out on circuit? Got a lot of mixed reviews. Some guys love it, some guys hate it. But you can see on the top of those timing sheets which drivers are loving it. Cheddar, Mango, Midas matching each other lap after lap after lap, just driving in close proximity to each other throughout the race. They've actually dropped off Logic. See their Logic just falling off slightly. He's trying to shake off Don Rabico, get him out of his DRS. Don Rabico just holding on to that DRS for the time being, 9/10 of a second. But Big T now challenging. got in front briefly, but Rabico's holding on, but now it's going to be side by side. Are they going to give each other space? Are we going to see carbon fiber flying? We don't see carbon fiber flying. And Rabico, P5. So far from the teams, I think the team's having the best days. The Mercedes-Benz, Cheddar out front, Rabico now into P5. He's going to have a little bit of clean air ahead of him now. But look out front, it's a mess. It looks like a swarm of bees. Can't see who's going to come out in front. He's got a car ghosting there. Hopefully that's just somebody running around at the back and not somebody disconnected here at the front. Loki. That's a big one. 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I'm more used to the 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's a 10-second penalty. I don't know if that is changed for the F124 game or if he just went very much over the limit. But a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Divan, 3-second penalty. We had no penalties up until lap 11, and now all of a sudden 2 drivers in the field have penalties. Divan going over track limits. And Stoffel picking up 10 seconds, warning to the rest of the drivers. You do not want to speed into the pit lane. It could cost you 10 seconds, and that 10 seconds could be the deciding factor that costs you the race. Windsor's giving a positive review of the game, saying it took a little bit in the beginning to get used to. Now the game's starting to come to him. Obviously round 1 not going the way he would have liked, but he'll be back next week. Of course, if you enjoy this racing, you don't have to wait until next week. We're going to be doing this all over again on Wednesday. SAFRL again, Tier 2. At this very track. Remember, Tier 1 and Tier 2 share the same calendar. So the race you see on Monday, you're going to see that same circuit on a Wednesday night with a different bunch of drivers. Most of those drivers in the comment section right now. Windsor's already on the train to Belgium. What's actually quite interesting is that the circuits, I think it's the circuit Spa-Francorchamps and the circuit Zandvoort, they're only about an hour and a half away from each other. One's in Belgium, one's in the Netherlands. So if you're in the Netherlands, going to the Belgian Grand Prix is really not much of a road trip, and vice versa. This is Cheddar. He's lining up a move. He's getting close. He's thinking about it. Some drivers now are starting to come into the pits. That's Cheddar coming into the pits. Where is Mango? Mango carries on. Of course, he's on the medium. He's going to go a little bit later on into this race. His plan will be to stretch those tires a little bit longer, come out on the soft compound and finish on the superior tire. Remember, the longer he can take those mediums, the better shape those softs will be at the end. So if he does have the pace, he might want to drag this out for another lap or 2, but he'll be watching the gap down to Cheddar, and the moment that gap starts coming down, he'll know he's losing time and he'll have to pit immediately. Etienne saying it did change, and it's also a 10 seconds penalty for ignoring yellow flags. So penalties a little bit more harsh this time around. Really don't want to find yourself speeding in the pit lane. 10 seconds is really, really harsh. to have a safety car towards the end of the race and you've got a 10-second penalty next to your name, there's a very good chance you're going to finish right at the back of the field. Out front, Mango. Remember, this car has not pit. Neither has, well, he has not pit, and now he has. Gets it stopped before the line, so crucial. We saw those 10-second penalties being handed out. It's not what you want to see. Logic will take the lead of the race. Logic also on worn mediums now. Those are the mediums he started the race on. How much longer does he intend on taking those mediums? Andre becomes the third retirement of the race, and will this trigger some sort of a safety car? Nothing that we can see at the moment. Not even a yellow flag. Well, there we go. We've got a caution, and hopefully that's all it is. Big T leads the way, Logic P2. But remember, we're in the middle of a pit window, so don't judge those times. Don't judge that order too much. Things are going to change. Some of these cars still have to come into the pits. As for most of the field, they've already been to the pits. Mango is the provisional leader of the race. Everyone ahead of him yet to pit. Let's see, where is Big T? This is your leader. Of course, he was very quick at the start. We saw him go into the gravel. Cursing that time in the gravel. And how close can you get? If ghosting wasn't a thing, that would have been a very entertaining incident. Now we have Brands. In P3, he could take the lead of the race if he... There we go. They're still in the pits, so Brands should take the lead of this race. He's on the hard compound, so looking to go as deep into this race as possible. Ferree in P2 also yet to pit. Only two drivers yet to pit. That is Brands and it's Ferree, the drivers in P1 and P2. Mango in P3, he's the provisional leader. Remember, he's already made a pit stop. He's got Cheddar and Midas behind him, but those cars are all on mediums. So I said Mango would have the superior tyre in the second stint of the race, and that he does. There's just 9 laps to go. Lap 15. 11 laps to go. Lap 15 of 26. Very interesting. First thing we've picked up in this game is that the penalties are a little bit more harsh. Seems like the corner cutting penalties are the same. Definitely speeding in the pit lane is going to hurt you a lot more than it used to. Of course, those 10 seconds will be added on at the end of the race unless he makes a pit stop. Then they will be taken during that pit stop. He'll stop. Mechanics won't be able to touch the car for 10 seconds. But I don't think he will be pitting again. Now Mango goes over the line, set the fastest lap of the race. That's when you want to be setting the fastest laps of the race towards the end. Remember, now towards the end, the cars are getting lighter lap by lap. You're on the soft compound. It's a perfect place to be. Now Mango is not going to wait for those pit stops. He gets himself up into P2, passes it for Ree. Still needs to make a pit stop, so those cars look like they're having a battle, but they're not in the same race. Mango is setting off now after Brands. How much longer does Brands stay out there? Remember, hard tyre. He's going to be looking to go as long as possible. I think we may see him come in at the end of this lap, put on a set of softs and go to the end. Won't simply give the position up. 3-second penalty for Tiago Maestro. Lots of penalties popping up on the screen. Thought the Red Bull had gone crazy wide, but in fact he was just heading off into the pit lane. That means Mango will lead the way. And look at the gap he's opened up to the field. Remember when those pit stops were initiated, he was pretty close to Cheddar. After the pit stops, there's about a 4-second buffer between the Ferrari and the Mercedes. So if Cheddar's going to come back at that Ferrari, he needs to get on with it. The other Mercedes also having a good drive so far, Don Rabico, but he's not having a comfortable drive because he's got 2 cars behind him, and it's not just 2 cars, it's 2 very quick cars. In fact, they almost go 3 side by side. And look at that, I think Rabico could lose 2 positions in a matter of 3 or 4 corners, and he has. Rabico down into P7, he was in P5, and that just shows you the speed of this field. There are no slow drivers in the field, everybody here is quick. Everyone here has won at different times in different leagues. There's no slow drivers here in Tier 1. That's why even if you're in the midfield, it's a fierce midfield. Gotta keep your concentration throughout. And this is when guys sometimes lose their concentration and the mistakes start to step in. We've seen races in the past where 2/3 of the race there's no retirements, and in the final third we get 5 or 6 of them. It really comes down to keeping your concentration throughout from start to end. You can't let it go until you see the checkered flag. And of course, even if you're looking at your result right now and it looks like you're out of this race, keep hope. We haven't seen a safety car yet, and if we do, it's really going to change things. Alpine just ahead of the RB of Logic. Just going down the field to see if there are any immediate battles. There's only one DRS battle on track, and that's the DRS battle on track. It's Big T versus Logic. It's a battle for P4. Intense battle, and it's not even for a podium position. We're quite a way away from those podium positions, 5.5 seconds away from Midas. Midas is actually lining up a pass, and he's completed that pass. Midas now up into P2, and Cheddar just going in the wrong direction. He'll want to take that position back. Divan now picks up a penalty as well. Just have a look at those penalty screens, because I only see 3 drivers with penalties, but I keep on seeing penalties pop up on my screen. So Divan has 6 seconds, Stoffel has 6 seconds, and Thiago Maestro, well, he's on 3 seconds. So just the 3 drivers to pick up penalties so far. Nobody in the top 8 has penalties. Hopefully it stays that way. We don't want to see the race decided via penalties. We want to see it decided on the track. This is Pantry Star, also having a race of his own. A lot of clean air ahead of him. And not too much going on in his mirrors. I was just talking about the concentration, and that's sometimes when the concentration can lapse. When the car in front just seems a little too far ahead. When the car behind is comfortably behind. And you just fall into a bit of a comfort zone. And with it being a new game, and with it feeling a little different, a mistake is definitely not impossible. To everyone watching the stream, on behalf of myself and SAFRL, thank you very much. Of course, if you haven't left a like on the video, leave a like. It helps the video get seen on more timelines. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. We upload at least 4 times a week. We do SAFRL twice a week. We do DRS on Thursday nights. And then we also do SKR on a Sunday. Back to the action in Tier 1. Cheddar, P2, Midas, P3. These positions are far from decided. The other DRS battle is Big T versus Logic. Stoffel picks up another 3-second penalty, so I believe that'll take him up to 9. So Mango out front, and comfortably so, 7.3 seconds, but this is the battle for second place. Both these cars will finish on the podium if the checker flag were to fall right now, but they want to finish one step higher than the other. Nobody's going to settle for third place between these two. Very quick drivers. Guys behind them will be hoping that they trip over each other a little bit, and that allows the field to close back in. Brand's 3-second penalty. We now have 4 drivers on track with penalties. From the 17 drivers that remain, we've had 3 retirements. Andre, Loki, and the first one to go was Windsor. Just making a mistake with his overtake button. Logic coming under serious pressure. Top 3 remain the same. Mango very comfortable out front, 7.5 seconds. We have Cheddar and Midas. They're still engaged in a battle. 5 laps remain in this race. Further back, Big T, Logic. Still fighting, still deciding who's going to finish in P4, who's going to finish in P5. Everybody else further back, sort of in a race of their own. It's Free coming under pressure from Aphrodox, that's for P11. Virus coming under pressure from Spikes, that's for P14. Mango not coming under pressure from anyone, so we'll move over to P2, where you'll find Midas in P2, but he's far from comfortable. Cheddar looked towards the inside, but didn't make the move. Just wanted to let him know, in case he can't see his mirrors, in case he can't see proximity arrows. Just let him know he's there. So you try and force a mistake, break the concentration, just put your car right in his mirror. Going from left to right, he looks in his right mirror, you're there. If you look in your left mirror and he's there, that's the sort of pressure you've got to put on that driver ahead of you. Either you need to make the overtake, or you need to force the mistake. But so far, no mistake. Midas and Cheddar matching each other lap after lap. Remember, they were able to stay with Mango in the first stint of the race, but that's because they were on the softs and Mango was on the mediums. But ever since Mango got himself a set of soft tyres, he's run off into the distance. The gap was initially 2 seconds after the pit stops. It's now 8.7 seconds. So he had a comfortable gap, and now he's grown that gap far beyond what it was. Looking for DRS battles, we've got Cheddar and Big T. Then a little further back, Big T defending as well from Logic. Rabico all on his own in P6. Brands P7, Pantry Star P8, Divan P9. Mr. M in that final points position, but it's not a comfortable points position because Aphrodox is all over the back of him. He's not going to make the pass this time around, not quite close enough. Last thing you want to do is give up a little handful of points in the closing stages of the race. More and more penalties now starting to pop up on the screen. Got 3-second penalties for the likes of Brands, Afrodox, Ferrari, Tiago Maestro and Moller. Then we have 6 seconds for Divan and 9 seconds for Stoffel. I just noticed that. Sorry for the silence, but I was checking to see if I was going crazy. But Tiago Maestro, yes, well, I think he had an incident in the early stages of the race. Went in, put on a medium, and is he trying to finish the race on that set of mediums? Those mediums are 22 laps old. If he can just hold that car together to the start-finish line, he's not going to lose more time than if he were to pit right now. No point in pitting right now. He would lose, well, he'd lose 1 position. I suppose he could come in, put on the softs, go for the fastest lap. He wouldn't pick up the extra point because he's outside the top 10. But at least you can steal that extra point from a potential championship rival later on in the season. This is Cheddar in P2. See that gap now, the biggest it's been between those drivers. Logic now in P3. Big T, P4. Midas, he's dropped a few positions. I wonder if he must have made a mistake, we didn't see it. But he was right up there. Now he finds himself in P5, he's behind Logic. Big T would love to hold on to this podium, but he's going to have to work for it. Even in the very closing stages of the race, he's going to have to work for it. We have some gaps that have really spread out, and then we still have parts of the racetrack that are incredibly busy. It's Ferrari, Divan, Mr. Rem, all of these drivers trading places, trying to get that P10, trying to get that final points position. It's Ferrari's got that final points position for the time being. Very nicely done by the Alpine driver, but he's going to have to do everything he can to hold on to it. Saw a caution pop up on our screen, but we're almost at the end of the race, which means we're safe from any safety cars. We started this season with no safety cars. We had a virtual safety car earlier on. I think that was lap 5. And after that we've had no safety cars in the race. But very well done to everybody. With a field of 20, we have had the 3 retirements. No safety cars in the race. Lap 25 of 26. Mango is doing what he needs to do. I wonder if he's made a mistake. He's lost a lot of time. That gap was almost 9 seconds. It's now 2.7 seconds, so he might have just spent a little bit of time off the racetrack. Cheddar P2, Big T P3. Cheddar, Big T, Logic, Midas, all of them, well, up to Logic really, still looking for that podium position. Midas has lost a lot of ground. We don't see damage on the car, but he's lost a lot of ground. Must have been more than a small off-track excursion. Must have been a little bit more than that, because he's lost a lot of momentum and a lot of time. Hopefully for him, he will be able to hold on to that P5 and minimize the damage that has already happened. Cheddar, is he going to be able to hold on to P2? Not if Big T has anything to say about it, because he's all over the back of that Mercedes. He's not going to settle for P2, for P3. He wants P2, he knows P1 is gone. But He wants to get the season off to the best possible start, and that's why he's going around the outside. It's side by side, so close, these two cars. And Cheddar just stays in front. Big T right next to him. You saw his wheel just pop in. And this is the closing stages, folks. There's no more time. They go over the line. And that's as close as you can have it. Just a tenth and a half. Fantastic racing all the way down to the line. Then we've got Midas. Be a little bit disappointed, but he can take P5 as a first race of the season. Not a bad result at all. Then Don Rabico P6. We're still waiting for Brands to come over the line. When he does, he's going to come over the line in P7. Of course, I don't want to read too much into these results. There are still penalties that the game may have to sort out. So we'll wait for the official results. Just waiting for the final drivers to come over the field. But what a drive from those top three. Mango, Cheddar, Big T, and of course Logic just missing out on that podium by a tenth and a half. Checkered flag has now fallen for everybody, with the exception of Tiago Maestro. We're just waiting for that final car. And here comes the Williams around the final corner and over the line. And that is Season 8, Round 1 of SAFRL Tier 1. Brands gets Driver of the Day. That was a fantastic race. Hope all of you at home enjoyed it as much as I did. There's your official results. Mango taking the season opener. Cheddar P2, Big T P3, final of podium positions. Then we have Logic, Midas, Ravico P6, Brands P7, Pantry Star P8, then Aphrodox and Mr. M making up the points paying positions. No points on the night for It's Free, Divan, Spikes, Virus, Maestro and Mola, as well as Stoffel. Then the three retirements, Andre, Loki and Wizards. Of course, those top three drivers, Mango, Cheddar and Big T. If you would like to join me for an interview, you can go over to the NFR Discord server and you can simply join the NFR cooldown room. I will collect you there and bring you into the comms box for an interview. That's Mango, Cheddar and Big T. As well as the driver of the day. Brands also welcome to come in for an interview. Of course, if you don't want to, that is perfectly okay. But we will see if anybody decides to join on the Discord, and then we will bring them in and have a short interview. So if you're still with us, what did you guys think of the race? Did you guys enjoy the race? It was good racing, wasn't it? It went right down to the end. It was Logic just missing out on the podium, just 1.5 tenths, and he would have been on the podium. And just saying we nearly pulled an Arsenal. I suppose, not really sure. I guess that means he almost messed it up right at the end. That seems like an Arsenal thing to do. Still waiting to see if anybody's going to join. Doesn't seem like anybody's joining, but we'll just give it another 2 or 3 minutes to see. But if you're still with us, remember, leave a like on the video if you haven't done so already, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, because we do this 4 times a week. Of course, we're going to be doing Silverstone again on Wednesday night. Most of the drivers sitting here in the comment section, they will have been taking a few notes, strategies we used, how far the drivers took those tyres. But of course, Wednesday night could be a very different race. This is Silverstone after all. We could have a wet race full of safety cars. And then whatever data you collected from here will be absolutely meaningless. It seems like nobody is joining. So I'm going to end the stream. But I want to say thank you to everybody. We went up to, I think it was 24 viewers at a stage. So everybody who watched, thank you very much. To everybody who's going to be watching this later on in the week or later on in the night, thank you very much for joining. I hope you enjoyed the racing. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. And I hope to see you again. Until then, cheers.